Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Unchained, and this matchup is about to take place. It is the final matchup in the best of 5 series for the Intercontinental Championship. Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins. They are tied to a piece, and right now we're going to show you how this leads into tonight and what the first 4 matches were like. This was episode 45. Rollins got a cheap victory while having his feet on the ropes. Then match number 2 the next week. Balor had already cashed in the Intercontinental title, but Rollins had prevented him from winning the world title, and then taken out his frustrations by winning that submission matchup with the sleeper hold. It was 1 apiece until match number 3, where Rollins took the lead 2-1 in a no disqualification matchup on metal, and then finally this past week, episode 47, it was a tables matchup and Balor winning with the coup de grace through the table, and that is why we are now 2 apiece. And this matchup here tonight, Austin said this past week it would be the tiebreaker here tonight. It's a ladder match. No DQ, no count out. Only way to win is to climb that ladder and take the title down for themselves. It has been vacated ever since Finn Balor cashed in and unsuccessfully challenged for the world title against AJ Styles. And that was because this man interfered. Rollins, the man who cost Finn Balor the NLW World Heavyweight Championship. And of course, let's not forget that the person who holds the Intercontinental Championship can cash it in at any time for a world title matchup. And that's exactly what Balor did, and that's exactly why Rollins took it away from him and decided to force a DQ. And Rollins points at the title he wants, and he's about to meet the man he wants to take it from. And the anticipation builds. And here he comes. The Demon, Finn Balor. Here he is. It is time for Seth Rollins to come face to face with the Demon. Finn Balor, the former Intercontinental Champion, and the man who here tonight looks to take it back and hopefully get a second shot at the world title, which by all accounts he should have in his position right now. However, it's because of Seth Rollins that Balor is not the world champion here tonight, and the reason that Balor is not defending the title in the chamber tonight. He caused a disqualification, which meant that Balor did not win the world title. And already you can see, decked out in war paint, Finn Balor wants that championship desperately. And the referee rings a bell and this matchup underway, and look at that disrespectful shove by Seth, and gonna kick him away now, and runs off the ropes into a drop kick by Balor. And Balor's gonna use his quickness to try and catch out Seth Rollins, but don't count Seth Rollins out. He is a quick individual as well, very agile. These two very similar athletes. Whipped into the corner, jumps over him, and meets him with a kick by Rollins. And Balor knocked loopy by that one, trying to gain his balance, but remember, no pinfalls or submissions. Only way to win is to climb the ladder. There's a roll through and stomps him in the stomach, and that chest as well, knocking the wind out of him with those feet stomping in the gut. And here comes the Demon King. He's got that ladder in a baseball slide by Rollins. Kicks the ladder right into the face of Balor. And now trying to get him up, and throws him over the announce table, and also into the big staging area here. And Balor in a daze. Rollins could theoretically run in, climb the ladder now, but Balor prevents it with the double drop kick off of the announce table here, and drop kicking that ladder right into Seth Rollins' face. And now that huge 20-foot ladder brought into the ring. Big boy's getting out early. And now he sees the title he wants, but Rollins, you see there, catapults that ladder into the face of Balor. and Balor knocked for 6. Oh, and again, dropping that huge ladder onto Balor's back. And now he's going to set it up in the corner. And the thing you have to note about these ladder matches is that huge steel ladder can be used as a weapon very easily. Oh no, he's going to look to powerbomb him into that ladder, but a roll through by Balor, but kicked away by Seth. And now Balor leaning up against that ladder. And Rollins back dropped onto it. The spine of Rollins connects with the steel in a sickening thud and a sickening impact as Balor looks to win it early. He's going to... Oh no, he's not. He's going to inflict more pain upon Rollins. Throws that ladder into him. Maybe wants to drop kick him here, but Rollins throws the ladder right back at his face. And a roundhouse kick as well, for good measure. Going to pick that ladder up and lean it against the ropes again, using as much of the ladder as possible to damage Balor. And he flips up it and rolls his spine onto it as well. And Rollins sees the title setting up the ladder in the centre of the ring. And he's going to look to climb early. But Balor is back at him. And Rollins tries to kick him away. But Balor has the hold of the foot, I should say. But instead, tries to jump down but gets caught with the sling blade. This is a matchup that we've all been looking forward to. However, I'm sure that Balor and Rollins, even though they've already wrestled 4 times within the past couple of weeks, they could wrestle each other for another 5 times. And look at this! Suicide dive! The planter over the top, and not only that, clears that 20-foot ladder in the process. And Seth Rollins laid out on the ramp here as Balor looks at him, looks at the prone body that he's just taken out with that suicide dive. And the tope, I mean, we've got to take a look at this. Look at the leaping ability of Balor, not only clearing the top rope, but also clearing that 20-foot ladder as well. Almost use it as a springboard, but there you see, throwing Rollins over the steel steps and waits for him to get to his feet. Balor going to meet him maybe, jumping off the steel steps, but caught out by Rollins and sent spine first into the ring post. And now Balor in trouble, and again a kick to the spine. And now Balor is down, and Rollins says it's done. Oh no. And now Rollins runs off the ropes. Rollins looks to go for a suicide dive of his own, but meets the ladder instead. And it's Balor with the ladder that prevents Rollins from hitting that suicide dive. And now, bringing in that smaller ladder. It's easier to control. It's also a lot more rigid and firm to hit your opponent with. Oh, and there you see, speaking of rigid and firm, what a back kick by Balor. That Pele right into the skull. Now Balor, what's he doing? He's climbing the ladder again, but oh no! Wiping out the leg from underneath Balor, and his head just hits the top of it. And now that ladder being used as a weapon, an effective weapon. And now he's being placed onto it. And Balor is laid unconscious seemingly, for the time being at least. And the second rope Phoenix Splash, look at that agility by Rollins. And it's rare that we see that move from him. He saves it for the big fights, and this is certainly a big fight. The Intercontinental title on the line, and an opportunity with it to challenge for the world title anytime you want. And that suplex onto the ladder. It's left Balor in a right old state. Look at him, clutching that back. And you can see he's in a world of pain. And if Balor is powerbombed by Rollins, it could be over. But no, the backdrop. And Rollins meets the spine of that ladder instead and just caught between it. And Rollins, he's in a daze, but Balor going to try and ascend the rungs. Climbing to the brass ring perhaps, but Rollins is there to meet him. And now he's got a hold of the title, going to try and bring it down, but Balor punches him instead, and these two in a very dangerous position. But, oh my God! Hooked by the head, and an overhead suplex from the top of that ladder to the floor. And now Rollins, all he has to do is climb. And this one's over. Oh, he fell 20 feet. And now Balor. Oh, how is Balor up? Somehow he's up. And he pushes the ladder over. And Rollins goes to the outside, but you gotta question how much that took out of Balor. He follows Rollins with a kick. But there's no doubt there's a lot of pain on his face. You can see it. Oh, no way. Well, we saw high risk already. And Balor just wants to add insult to injury. Or injury to injury. Rollins is laid out on that table. And on the announce table he lays prone and ready for Balor to strike, but he's up. He's up to meet Balor, and he catches him on the top of that 20-foot ladder, and I do not like the looks of this. They're a hell of a long way from the title. There's no doubt about that. He's still dangling above the rafters. But Balor tries to get a foot in. Oh my God! And a sunset flip from the top of that ladder through the announce table. These men will do just about anything to win the championship and get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. And it is still hanging in the centre of the ring, and both men once again down. Well, there were questions going into this one, whether or not they were going to up the ante following the 4 intense matches they've already had. And well, they've certainly silenced those people, because they are putting on a clinic here. But again, it is not over. Balor is trying to climb, but Rollins is once again there to meet him. And again, climbs on the same side of the ladder and gonna rake the face of Balor and throws him down. And a curb stomp as well. Must have been about 10 feet in the air and crushing the skull. And he crushes the skull of Balor with that curb stomp from the ladder, and again, and what the hell is this? It looks like Rollins concocted some sort of ladder bridge here. A ringside. He could climb the ladder, but no. He's going to punish this guy. Oh, but Balor up with that kick and ladder. Oh, Seth Rollins. Well, I've got ladder on the brain, clearly. Seth Rollins falling onto that ladder hard, and he's in a prone position, certainly. Where the hell? Balor on the top. Oh, my God! The ladder snapped in two, for God's sake. And that coup de grace may have just destroyed Seth Rollins. Not only is that coup de grace devastating in the ring, imagine how much impact it takes to stomp your feet so hard through your opponent that it actually breaks steel. It's incredible. And how Rollins is even able to muster up the courage and strength to crawl back into the ring is beyond me. And look at him run! And this is just desperation at this point! Somebody's got to climb that ladder before somebody's career is ended. That neck breaker from the top of the ladder. And it is still a stalemate. And Rollins is trying at his fastest pace possible to climb the ladder. And he tries so desperately. But Balor knows the opportunity that's ahead. And he can't even push over the ladder, but he does push it away. And now Rollins is just hanging from the rafters. All he has to do is unhook it. But now he goes on the shoulders. Now one-winged angel. We will never, I repeat, we will never forget this one. That's not hyperbole. I'm sure these guys aren't going to forget it anytime soon. Certainly not going to forget it tomorrow night when they're still in the hospital bed being treated for the injuries that they've suffered in this matchup. Title belt still up for grabs. It's anybody's game at this point. That one-winged angel may have done it for Rollins, but Balor, he had a title grasp there, about to regain it. And now both men have the hold of it. But Rollins! Balor knocking that title off the head of Rollins, and he may be. Oh, he had a great. Oh my God! Again. He had a hold of the title, and it was Rollins who just pushed him off. And Balor, he's trying so hard. He's trying to get back in, but Rollins grabs the title. We have ourselves a brand new Intercontinental Champion, and his name is Seth freaking Rollins. And hats go off to both of these guys, not just for this matchup, but for the best of 5 series. That is the kind of competition that you can expect here in NLW. But this matchup was the best of them all by far. Well, he was hanging from that title belt. He could have grabbed it there and then, but instead the one-winged angel, and then both men simultaneously with their hands on the title. Balor used the title to hit Rollins in the head, but Rollins rebounded off the ropes and pushed the ladder over, and Balor, unfortunately for him, not only did he fall, he fell at an incredible rate, landing on his head and neck as well on the outside, and it's a miracle he's still standing, to be honest with you. Rollins basks in the glory. Not only does he have the Intercontinental title, he's won this best of 5 series, and he can cash that title in anytime he wants for a world title matchup. And considering that the Elimination Chambers tonight, who knows? Anything is possible, and with that, Seth Rollins is your new Intercontinental Champion.
An environment of no limits will ultimately lead to a rebellion, a common force which is united as one. There are many tests you must go through to reach the promised land. The lawful authority have no control whatsoever on these wrestlers. Resistance, mutiny, insurgents. NLW presents Insurgents live on pay-per-view.
That will be our next pay-per-view event coming your way on the 15th of July, and it is sure to be a... Well, I heard something about a certain somebody being in the building tonight, but I didn't believe it until I saw it. And here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is the man who was voted in the 2016 Slammy Awards. The man who you voted to be in NLW. And Kevin Owens is the man you chose. And now he's here. Finally. After weeks and months of anticipation, and Kevin Owens has arrived in No Limits Wrestling, thanks to your votes, and I'm very intrigued at what he's got to say here.
Are you surprised to see me? And I'd like to make one thing perfectly clear off the bat. I am not here because of any of you. And granted, your votes put me here, but you didn't do a damn thing to warrant me being here tonight. I've worked for nearly 20 years, busting my ass to try and get a foot in the door, and I try, but somebody just didn't want to answer my calls. And now that you people have voted me in, they had no choice but to give me a contract. I was promised a lot of things by a certain son of a bitch who knows who they are, and to those people who thought they were getting somebody else, tough shit, because this is my company now. So that person, and they know who they are, who tried to double cross me, you better be careful, because I can send your whole world crashing down. Just remember that. And one last thing, to whoever wins the Elimination Chamber tonight, I am coming for that NLW World Championship. Take this as a warning. Kevin Owens has arrived.
That was interesting to say the least. And, well, the mood in this arena has certainly changed. They have certainly changed their tune, and look at that. The disrespect that Kevin Owens is showing to our audience. And he was the one who was voted in by this crowd, and now he just insults them, saying he didn't need them to get here. Well, apparently he did, and it sounds as if there was something lined up for him to come here before, and he seems very bitter. And I'm not trying to, you know, wash over this incredible situation that's going on now, but he does seem like a very bitter individual. And he said some things there that would suggest he has reason to be bitter. I guess we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks what he's talking about. But, ladies and gentlemen, up next, it is the Elimination Chamber matchup, our main event for the world title. CM Punk, Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy, Drew Galloway, and Brock Lesnar challenge AJ Styles. That huge main event is up next.